Hello you guys, welcome to the channel. It's Rad, and tonight we will do the weekly of the upcoming week, which happens to be September 25th up until October 1st. And the cards for the collective, which you can see at the thumbnail, not at the screen in front of you, but at the thumbnail, are as follow. Now, the first one that I drew a few hours ago for the week, that is the Three of Swords. Then the second card is Temperance. And the third card for the week, that will be the Three of Wands. Liz, welcome to the stream. Rob, I'm quite alright. Thank you, Rob. I believe long time we haven't saw each other. Welcome to the stream, mate. So let me get that calendar off here. Okay. And this is how the elemental dignity stands. Okay, these three cards. So this is not going to be particularly easy week, and that is kind of to say the least. What can I say? I mean, it's throughout the week we will have to address certain issues, rather face problems that will problems which are going to make us doubt maybe that we will be able to pull certain things through. So it will be really a rough patch moving forward, at least for the week itself, and especially when it comes to tackling with our people. Okay, tackling with friends, tackling with the co-workers, bosses, maybe as well. It's less likely, but still it could appear in more intimate nature of a relationships, especially if currently, you know, we do not share exactly the same opinion as with our beloved ones, or with our family members, and so on and so forth. You know, and that is going to make us question the success of one's endeavor, of our endeavor. So this is the not the bad, but more like the unpleasant part of all that. But this kind of like cornering, because that's what the feel is going to be, that we are cornered for the most part of the week. This cornering, so to speak, our back being against the wall, it's gonna drive out from ourselves a nature which we thought we do not possess, or rather like we didn't have to resort to it up until now, and maybe we forgot that we do possess, and that is the nature of I don't give a dime, for a lack of a better word. And thus being, and I don't know the English word here, kind of like, no, it's not exactly resigned, it's more like a well, you know, the state where people, they know what they have to do, and despite how they feel, they are going to do it. So that's the type of nature that we all are going to display. And through enforcing this type of nature of ours, it's a week where we are going to pave rather solid foundations, and we will establish certain patterns which will allow us to kind of like conquer whatever challenge it is in front of you. Or long story short, people, that is the week where each one of us is going to not just only understand, but see firsthand what one is truly capable of when, you know, it's pressed in the corner. And I'm sorry for the expression, but it is like, you know, wounded animal being kind of like caught without an exit, and that is when they fight with no remorse or whatever pity, right? And it's just how can I put it into words? They give all they got. So that's us. That's every single one of us. So expect some shenanigans, expect troubles, expect people not exactly being subordinate or cooperative, and kind of like try to deal with it the best you can. But because you do can't, it's just you. The only thing that can truly prevent us of pushing through all that is if we do cave in under the negative thoughts of self-doubt and doubt that one thing can go forward or not. We shouldn't doubt. We should know that it can and it should. All right. So that was the collective reading. And now a few notes about the show before I move forward. There are going to be 12 readings, guys, one for each star sign. I'm going to start with Aries, and I'm going to end up with a Pisces. And while these readings are going to affect you to a certain extent, depending on what star sign you are, how many planets you do have, your rising sign as well, your moon sign and whatnot. But again, they are a general readings for the star signs, and therefore they are very seldom happen to be, you know, a concrete and direct answer to one's question. Rather, they should be taken as a more of a as a guidance. But if you do wish me to interpret for your own personal situations and or the questions you do have, you can always go to my website, which link you will find in the description down below. And there at the very front page, you can see a full list of my services and as well their pricing. So based on your budget and also your need, you can go for whichever service suits you best. And finally, if you do enjoy the show and you do wish to support us, you can do so through either Super Chat or PayPal. And anyone who contributes is going to have a reading at the end of the stream. That's guaranteed. And should the reading carry no inquiry with it, is going to be about how the week is going to be for you personally, rather than just general. Okay, so that's that. Now we do have Aries. You can track which star sign I'm reading for by observing the glyph, which is displayed right here. All right. First card for Aries, Prince. Well, it is the Knight of Swords. Then it is the Page of Swords. And the third one, that will be Death. So those are the three cards. And two versions for Aries. One which is going to be the more plausible. It is where certain issues, let's put them that way. So certain issues which they need to be buried, you know, things should be over. It's kind of like things should be already settled. The whole subject just won't go away. It's like the moment you think that everything is cleared out, is going to be brought up back again and back again and back again from the people that are involved from the other side. And the best thing you can do is just to ignore them. That is the only way how you can kind of like truly detach yourself from these subjects, which does nothing else but do you harm. The other version is some old issues which thought cleared are gonna be brought into your life one more time. And again, the solution to it. It is just, you know, to ignore them. So from you, the best behavior we can have, or at least according to my cards, Aries, is a blissful ignorance. It's like you don't know what's going on and you don't know what people are literally talking about. On a personal level, the week will present you with some choices, which there is always going to be an option that you will like, and in the same time is going to be efficient. Next, that will be Taurus. Judgment. Seven of Swords. Four of Swords. This is how the cards stand. So the Taurus, the real difficulty is going to be, I can't really say leaving people behind. It's more like not sharing a good fortune. Because whatever you are going through right now, according to these cards, throughout the week, you will be presented with, so to speak, a way out. Okay. But it will be a personal way out. That you won't be able to carry on people you care about whom are involved in the situation. If there are no people you care about that are involved in the situation, well, then good for you. Just to give you an example what I'm talking about here, now imagine it's really miserable at work and your bestie works with you, okay? And you both are looking for work. You are looking to kind of like go together elsewhere so you can end the agony, so you can end the misery. But whatever job you find, they want to take you, but not your bestie. And it's kind of like it comes a point where, you know, you just have to leave them behind. And the point is this week, that was just for an example, you know, it can play in many different guises. So throughout the week, the difficulty for you, Taurus, is to think more personally, or rather like more, and look out more for yourself than look out more for other people. And additionally to it, it will be best, okay, if you do not, I don't know how to describe it, kind of like provoke difficulties without the need to, because you are going to have that affinity and it is totally unneeded. So basically, in every chance you got, okay, that you do, or rather like you can make an issue go away, you should take it. Because in many of these situations, it does look like that there will be always going to be an internal conflict. Is it moral to do it? Is it not? Well, according to these cards, the very least, you ain't going to have another chance on that. So it's best to take the very last one. All right, next. Gemini. King of Swords. The Empress. Five of Wands. those three cards. And they are either involving, I'm sorry, a person or an entity, okay, like an organization or society, whatever. And whether it's a person or an entity, their purpose being in your life for that stage, or at least for throughout the week, is to figure out how to move forward. For example, how to move forward with a current project, with current status, with the current situation, or with the love you have, okay? Because that may be someone you're interested in or someone that it is interested in you. And the thing it is that they, without you, cannot figure a way forward, but in the same time, it's kind of like the proposition that they're going to come up with toward you. It's kind of going to be like stunning in a sense of that is going to be very surprising. Even most of you will kind of like be baffled. How is that person or this entity is even able to come up with such a thing? And the key here is not to be impulsive. I mean, you should rather say yes or no, not. What I mean is that you should delay your answer. Yes, we can move forward, we can try it out, or no, we cannot. What is required according to these cards is analysis. First, you need to analyze the strategy presented, okay, carefully analyze it. Because even if it is not well defined, at least at the start, with enough thought put into it, the way forward can be clear. What I mean is that you can definitely use or alter it and use it to push and move through difficulties with it. So for you, Gemini, I mean, that week could be, and it is very likely to be, by the way, the week that you will find a solution to improve or save your marriage, improve or save friendships, improve or save your job, and so on and so forth. On a personal level, just don't do anything that does not contribute anything for your life. So charity, this isn't a week for a charity. Long story short. All right, next. Oops, Cancer. Four of Wands. Seven of Swords. Four of Cups. Those three cards. Those three cards. So it seems that within this week, you will grow more aware that your current enterprises aren't as far as you think you are. And the reason for it, or at least what is going to come up to your conclusion, is that you aren't putting enough resources and attention into the aspects required, okay, into the details required, because, well, the most likely version, according to these cards, it is because you are giving it away. Okay, for example, instead of investing into your business, you are giving those money away to someone that you feel pity for. That is just for example. Or instead of addressing a issue in your marriage, you are spending that time with friends because, I don't know, because your friends need you right now and whatnot. Okay, so that is a week where you need to kind of like address the important matters, the important details around you. According to these cards, you very well know who they are or what they are. Okay, and anything else would be an excuse, because that is the week where it is going to be decided, is important cycle of development going to be concluded for you and finalized, finished. And after that, you kind of like transition into the new phase, or if you would prefer, to the new level of all that. Or you're gonna make an excuse that, you know, something or someone else needed you, and that's why, you know, you couldn't. It's entirely up to you, Cancer. But what truly can kind of like trip you on the way forward, it is the belief that kind of like, how can I put it into words? Say, if it is meant to be, okay, no matter what I do, it's gonna happen one day. Well, certain things are true, right? So if you are meant to be, for example, rich, you are going to be. How rich and when though? Well, that is entirely up to you. And if now you address the details of, you know, your enrichment, then you will be richer and sooner on top of that than if you do not address them right now. So the bottom line is that this week, Cancer, you should not waste any resources, but for your own good. Okay, for your own good, for the things that make your life good rather than the life of others. All right, next, Leo. Seven of Pentacles, Page of Swords, the World. It's a simple thing for Leo. This week, guys, two things that you should be aware of and kind of like keep your eyes peeled for. One is a very unexpected help that may kind of like appear for you, kind of like a help that you just didn't ask for. How can I put it into words? A didn't need, or it's a person that's under normal circumstances that you know them, they wouldn't help you. But now, you know, or an entity, they come about and kind of like offer their help towards you. So very, very unexpected, from an unexpected place, from an unexpected entity. And it will sound like it's can I put it into words? It's like a charity. What I mean is that they don't ask for anything in return. It's wrong. Okay, I mean, they may not ask anything in return right now, but they will in the future. So it's a help that, unless, you know, your life is falling apart without it, I mean, according to these cards, you shouldn't take. Now, the other thing that's it's likely to happen throughout the week, it is that you are going to come up with something, most likely an idea. It will be born from your original thought, basically. One day you may be under the shower and just, you know, suddenly kind of like something blossoms. Okay, some kind of it's not even a revelation, it's more like creativity blossoms. And while it may be a really good idea, it may be a hit, okay? you aren't, or your current stage you're finding into, it doesn't look like that you are ready for it, because these cards are showing is that you do have a very restricted line of resources, and currently they cannot be thrown in anywhere by except their designated destination by that point. Okay, you can't redirect. Well, you can, but nothing is going to work out if you do. So again, while it may be a really, really great idea, I mean, you should keep it to yourself, because otherwise it could be plagiarized, right? So you should keep it for yourself. And when you are feeling more free on resources, then you can give it a go. Okay. But if you do try to execute it, again, I want to stress that one out. If you do try to execute it throughout this week, it's likely that not just only the idea ain't going to work out, but anything else that you do try, it's not going to work out. All right. Virgo. Hey, Jasmine. Welcome to the stream. Uh, 10 of Wands. Eight of Swords. 3 of Wands. This is like a drilling procedure. So I do believe that that will be more about, you know, job, business. I can't see how that can happen in relationship, but again, you know, people have kind of different understanding under a relationship. What I mean is that you are going to be put under pressure throughout the week. Pressure so much that it at certain point is going to snap free, all right? It's going to break free certain limits or limitations that you have. Kind of, for example, I don't know, you may have a limitation not to speak with someone. You just don't want to speak with that person. But you will be pressed so much to do so by the circumstances or by your boss, you know, that at some point you will have to. And once you do, you will see that it wasn't that bad. In fact, it was for example, a good conversation, productive, fruitful conversation. And you just can't kind of like bend, but rather you need to obey the rules that are to be bestowed upon you throughout the week. Which rules are going to do two things. One, they will, if you can endure, of course, reward you at the end. That's one thing. And the other is that they are going to present you with stability and a further points of conquest, for a lack of better expression. So this isn't going to be the end. But in order to kind of like be fit to chase that further points of conquest, okay, these personal limits that for one or another reason you have, they need to be brought down. And once they are no longer in effect, you are going to see that you can do so much more. Another thing, it is that when you are conveyed emotion, okay, for example, your husband or a wife asks you to do something, or your boss does, so make sure that you do understand exactly what they want, because there may be some disruption in the communication. Maybe they haven't said something that they thought is close to mind, that it is under a default that you need to understand, or it is just, you know, you couldn't fathom what they are saying and whatnot. So make sure that you do understand what they're saying, because it is very, very common with these cards, kind of like expectations to be betrayed just because people did not get into the core of what they want from each other. All right, next, that will be Libra. Three of Swords. The Wheel of Fortune. Death. Give me a moment. So you know when you have been, or someone is taught something that it is meant to kind of like discourage them, but instead enforces, or rather like augments their determination. Well, that is the most likely course of action that will develop for you this week, Libra. Jasmine, thank you for the 20 US dollars. Thank you, Jasmine. Let me put you into the list. So that is for you, Libra, the course of action. You are most likely going to be at some point at a very low place. What I mean is that discouraged, most of you insulted, okay? Most of you battered, even if you do well, from colleagues, from friends, you know. And you know, when you're feeling at the lowest place out there, this is when this augmented determination is going to kick in. Because instead of can I put it into words, instead of commiserating and pitying yourself, you're going to rise up and see it as an opportunity, not just only to prove yourself, okay, but to also crush the negative treatment and the negative opinion one or another has towards you. And this smothering that you will do as a process here, the smothering of someone's opinion or, you know, state, is going to permanently change your life for the better. This is a week where you gotta present how, or rather like show how strong, unwavering, and indomitable you are. hopefully you will be able to do it. That is the week where you need to show that no matter what, you believe in yourself and you ain't gonna budge a step back, no matter again, no matter what. Imperative to do so. Then once you do start making compromises with what you believe in, what your goal is, yourself, you lose. All right, next, Scorpio. Ace of Pentacles. Well, maybe the first positive reading that we do have tonight. Eight of Cups. And Eight of Pentacles, yeah. Taco, thank you for the $22.22. Thank you, Taco. The end of the stream, you will have your personalized reading, mate. Thank you. So, like I said, for Scorpio, the first entirely positive reading tonight. It was about time because usually Scorpio gets the negative ones. Or the unpleasant ones. But this week for Scorpio, and I know, long story short, I do know what they do refer to me. In fact, is something that I came up with today. Okay. Because I just lost faith into it. But it does look like that this faith will be regained. Not now, okay, not throughout the week, just throughout the week we will see, how can I put it into words, the opportunity to regain it. So for us, Scorpio, that will be the week where we will prepare for the future. I don't know how to put it, but that is the week where we're going to see that in the future there is an opportunity to further our goal, for lack of better words. And we're just gonna make the necessary, preparations for it. Let me give you an example. Let's say that you do like someone, okay? And by that point, you're always had been deflected. One way or another, you always had been deflected. And throughout the week, at some point, you do see that now it's not the same. Like, for example, that person, you bump up to each other, and unlike any time before, that person actually asks you out. You take it, and they tell you that, kind of like, how can I put it into words? They tell you that it's not impossible, or rather, like, they give a hint that it is not impossible to hit it off, but not now, because now, for example, they have too much work and too much, or rather, like, family problems and whatnot, and they just first want to deal with all that before actually hit it off with you. So your hope is, you do have a promise that the hope is going to be regained in the future, but right now you can't do anything. So the only thing you can do is to prepare for what is to come. Okay. But nonetheless, it's a significant improvement in terms of expectations of that the best is yet to come, because that is the promise here for Scorpio. That's going to be the week where we Scorpio are going to see that things aren't as grim as we see them right now, and kind of like, again, the best is yet to come. Nancy, thank you for the $20. Thank you, Nancy. At the end of the stream, you will have your general reading for the week. Let me put you into the list. All right. Next, Sagittarius. Beautiful weather, Pisces moonbeam, you do mean hot weather? Because usually when women say beautiful weather, they do mean warm and hot weather. Uh, Temperance, the Wheel of Fortune, Chariot. Another positive one. And it's just a sentence, okay? You do not have to perform miracles so things work out for you. In fact, according to these cards, smooth or fluid should I use? That's what I'm trying to say. It is like the process going forward, at least for the week, it will be super smooth and super fluid. It's so much so that you wouldn't, at some point, you wouldn't believe that actually things are going forward so easily for you. And one of the reasons for that, it is that throughout the week, I don't want to say adversaries, but it could be adversaries at the end of the day, or rivals. I'm not going to mess around with your things. So, for one or another way, you will earn the respect of those around you. And out of respect, okay, people that are involved or are a tangential, or probably I should use kind of like peripheral, to your business is not gonna mess around with your business, and now being in calmness, like being uninterfered. You get to focus on the appropriate and correct way how to deal with relationship matters, business matters, and so on, without needing to resort to extreme measures. And the lack of resorting to extreme measures is going to make things super easy for you, Scorpio. And on a personal level, this week you will experience a lot of compassion and a lot of solidarity from the people that are very, very close to you. And something which is out of hand, I mean, it's something that you can't do anything about, you know. It's a good thing, okay? But I need to explain it to you. I had a colleague once. It was an Englishman, and we were inspecting a production that was going on for the the purchase order that the company I was working for was placed, and there was it's just the production needed to ship that very same day, and there was a huge problem. I don't know if it was with the package or with the assembly, I don't remember, right? And I was freaking out. It's just I was petrified what's gonna happen, and that man kind of like grabbed me for the shoulder and said, young man, calm down, you don't want to die young, okay, this is just a job. And in fact, he said, in my experience, in my 40 plus year of experience, things work out at the end always, okay? And even if you do worry about, can you do something about it? So no, so just calm down. Bottom line is that for you, things miraculously always gonna work out one way or another. That is something you wouldn't be able to control throughout the week. It just is gonna happen for you. Or at the very least, the way how they can work out is gonna be in front of you. Always, whether you take it or not is entirely up to you. Yeah, it's Takov since yesterday. It truly feels like the beginning of autumn. The day before yesterday, we had a 32 degrees Celsius temperature outside. That is like 60, 64 plus 96 Fahrenheit. 32 Celsius is 96 Fahrenheit. So it was 96 Fahrenheit, and yesterday really heavy black clouds was kind of like enveloping the country. It was suffusing this. They were suffusing the sky, and it became chill. I like chill weather. Okay, I like to be cold. I don't like warm weather. Hey, Yalabi, welcome to the stream. And my premise for it is that when it is cold, you can put a lot of clothes on you, okay, really warm clothes, and still you can have a fairly comfortable experience outside. But when it is really, really hot, you cannot peel off your skin. I mean, and I hate sweat, okay? When I'm sweating, it's just, it's one thing that's not one thing, but something I just prefer not to. It's just, I don't like it. Yeah, cozy clothing. Capricorn, Page of Cups. Justice. Nine of Cups. Hoodie and shorts. This is like warm weather, isn't it? I mean, hoodie, it's like switcher. For Capricorn, if you do have children, this week is going to affect more your relationship with your children. And long story short, you will make them happy. It is just that's gonna be the week where you will spoil your kids for, how can I put it into words, for a good experience. I mean, that's spoiling, and I'm saying it's spoiling because I cannot use anything else. The spoiling ain't gonna make them little brats, right? It just is going to make them happy, and through that happiness, you will see that you are happy as well. And that's gonna be the week where you will see that time to time isn't gonna be a bad idea to kind of like spoil your kid with something that you know is gonna make them happy. If you don't have children on a personal level, it's more of a skipping some, how can I put it into words? Some criterias that you do have. Let's say, I can't give you an example really. But long story short, you are going to see that with some rules you have for yourself, or you expect people around you to follow, nothing comes out of them right now. And in order to kind of like make your life or your environment a little bit more cheerful, these rules needs to be, Pisces moonbeam word, omitted. Okay, they need to be omitted. And for the sake of the brighter future, because the brighter future is looming that week. On top of all that, is going to present you with a hint that times are about to change for the better. You need to be accustomed to the new development. And being ossified in your old ways is not going to do that. It's only going to interfere. So what you need to do is, again, overlook certain things that you otherwise would be stuck about and stuck with. Well, Yadabi, in that particular case, this reading is gonna come true for you, and I'm telling you what. Rulers. Well, I don't know you that well, Yadabi, but the point of the rules is to bring order, okay, into one's life and to prevent bad things to happen. But we have twisted the rules, or the society had twisted the rules in norms, okay? For example, it's not accustomed not to say please when you are taking your groceries out of the store. Why? Okay. And in fact, I had a huge problem with that. In my country, we do not say please or thank you, okay, when we are kind of like in the grocery store. Because why would I? I mean, why would I please you to do your job and thank you for taking away my money? It is your job, right? So, but that is just only one thing, okay? You may have a rule that you have to dishwash every single night, but you may not have the time to do so, so you have to cut time with spending with your son, for example. Why? I mean, can you not leave the dishes for tomorrow morning, right? So it's important that rules, they do not restrict you. That's my point on it. The one and only rule that always should be followed is that one should does things that makes thou happy unless those things interfere with the law. Well, Taco, we are men, okay? We do not like dishwashing. Thank God, technology kind of like invented the dishwashing machine. It's an awesome thing. Nine of Wands. The Hangman. The Devil. All right, Yanabi. That's the thing about life. One cannot have everything, unfortunately. And even though you may see couples that are super happy and very, very successful with their career, it's just a charade. It's just a charade. I mean, they're probably saving face in front of the public. Because how can you be happy if you know, in love, if you have devoted yourself to your career, for example, right? I mean, you can devote to one thing or to the other. Unless, you know, these couples kind of like, I don't know, they are together, but in the same time, they love their own life more than they love, can I put it into words? Or rather, like they do accept the relationship as a part of their singular life rather than giving away their life for the relationship, if you know what I mean. But yeah, one cannot have everything. It's the rules of the lover's card, or rather, like the lesson that the lover's card teaches us. Because back in the past, the original name of the lover's card was the choice, and it is the choice in between what you want and what you have to. And you can't have everything, okay? So if you choose what you want, you have to live without what you need, okay? If you go for what you have to, well, then you have to live without what you want. It's but you will have what you need. So yeah, it's life is a it's an experience, let's put it that way. Again, Aquarius, those are the three cards. It's a rather short one, guys, because this is the week where you will understand that things does not belong to the one who has rights on them, but they do belong to the one who takes them, right? And sitting on your couch, it's not going to bring any development and any breakthroughs, but instead you will have to kind of like realign and I don't know, I don't want to say scheme, but bottom line is that within this week you will have to readjust. This is the week where you will need to enforce your changes, your conscious changes, things you have control over, things you can reshuffle, things you can realign, like for example your schedule, like for example your rules, right? In order to make your life more comfortable and more set up for the development of your enterprises. But also, there will be another hint and another realization for you, Aquarius, throughout the week. It is that certain things you want are not what they seem. And therefore, when you get what you think you want, it's going to appear that it is not what you have wanted. Therefore, for example, if you do have an interest in a specific person, that may be the week where this person is going to show up a face that you do not recognize and you do not want that face in your life, and therefore that may be the place where you kind of like enforce these changes, like for example change the pattern that you do interact with that person so you don't have to invite them in your life, and so on and so forth. But the thing is that this is an initiative week. You gotta take the initiative in order to move forward. All right, and last but not least, we do have Pisces. King of Pentacles, the Devil, Four of Wands. Give me a moment. Again, an individual or an entity which will have something for you that will be like an investment. It may be an emotional investment, it could be financial investment, it could be, we call it a skill investment, for example. They offer you their skill so you can move forward with your things. There will be an investment here, and the thing it is that is gonna be exactly what you need at that point. You do need someone to take care of you, you got it. You need someone to love you, you got it. You need someone to invest in your business, you got it. All right. But I'm saying but with some of the quotes, because it doesn't have to be true. I mean, with this investment, you are going to do great things, but you can do without as well. Of course, it's going to be far difficult, far more difficult. It's going to be very delayed, right? But you can pull it through without it. And this is the moment where you have to think very carefully, because it will look like a charity, but it isn't. This individual profits from all that, maybe more than you, but the difference here is that it's not, their profit does not take away from your profit. Okay, so for example, in my classes, what kind of a example I give it is that imagine someone wants to invest in your business and buys shares in your company, right? They're doing that so they can kind of like hold you in their iron fist. They're doing it because they want to see your competition fall and kind of like buffing up. Your company is smothering their competition and they're profiting from the fall of your competition, but they're not taking away from your own profit. That is going to play out very well for you. I don't like, however, the devil card. Usually the devil kind of like the perfectness that it gives you, the convenience, the power that comes from the devil usually has its price in the future though. Okay. So the only thing that you need to think about very carefully is, do you want to have an ally? Do you want to your success to be because of someone? Okay. If you don't have to, like I said. I mean, you can pull it through on your own, but far more difficult. On a personal level, Pisces, before kind of like setting your eyes on some new enterprises and endeavors, make sure that you have everything around you sorted, that you do have everything you do possess currently sorted. Anna, thank you for the $20. Or rather, like Chandra. I'm sorry. With Anna, you do have a similar avatars. I'm sorry, Chandra. Thank you for the $20. Let me put you into the stream, Chandra. Into the list, Chandra. And shortly, you're gonna have your personalized reading. All right. So that was for the 12 star signs. Now, super chat. Let me put that deck away and get the other one. So Yanabi, you haven't said you like a hot weather. Or a cold weather. Who does like a cold weather from you guys? That's not very warm. I like that weather too. That kind of a weather too. I don't mind the cold one either. All right, Jasmine, those are the cards for you. You had a specific inquiry. This reading is tailored around that inquiry, love prospects in the next few months. Not exactly, Jasmine. Not exactly, at least not a new one. Now, what these cards are suggesting, it is a that within this time frame, and I don't know if you do count this one for the next few months, these cards are speaking about up until summer next year. Okay, so maybe half a year, maybe a little bit more, and it's going to be a slowly developing thing. So this is what I think what's going to happen. You're going to start a friendship, or they're referring a friendship that just had started. And throughout this friendship, you will grow very accustomed to that person. What I mean is that you are gonna, and they as well, that is a mutual process here. You together are going to feel for each other in a sense of that you will be able to put in each other's shoes. You will trust each other very, very much. I mean, you are always gonna know what both of you are going through. And on top of that, on top of the trust and all that, there will be as well a discrepancy, so to speak. I mean, you together. All right. I will start from the beginning because it seems that the streaming software kind of like fucked up for a second. So again, slowly developing thing. You will grow to be very discreet with one another. And another thing it is that you will take each other under each other's wing. So it will be like a protective thing, at least at the start. But it ain't gonna feel like intimacy, at least not at the start. However, as it grows throughout the time, by the summer next year, any prospect will be passable or it will be taken under consideration. But alas, these cards does not speak for something fast developing. In fact, fast developing thing, it's only going to hurt you emotionally, according to these cards. Like, you know, you meet someone in a month or two from now and you hit it off, and a few weeks after that you are in a relationship, you're always going to be left, kind of like, at least within this time frame, you will be left hurt from all that. So that is what the cards are showing for you, Jasmine. Where can I put it into words? The best how things can work out is a transformation or of a partnership, for example, business partnership or friendship, to transform into something more. And the previous stage to be used as a growing of conscientiousness and as well mutual trust in between you and that person. But there is definitely going to be an individual that's, you know, you will grow an interest into you, they're going to grow interest in you as well, and it's important to take it one step at a time. All right, next, Taco, let's check out your week, mate. Mm. You're welcome, Jasmine. All right, Taco, these are your cards here. And they do speak about conflict. The conflict regards some kind of whether a distant place, traveling, adventure, or inheritance. One of the four things. And the conflict is that you will be told that you are forgetting your place. Long story short, that it is not your place, for example, to go there, or it is not your place to compete for that, right? Or it is not your place to say what needs to happen, okay? But it is your place because it does concern you more than anyone else. And so the week will be more of a, how can I put it into words, like a test and as well ordeal, not to cave in into those, let's put it that way, influences. It will be rather difficult throughout the week to rally support and to rally, let's say, influences and individuals through which, you can, or rather, like, well, I'll put it that way. This week is going to be exceptionally difficult to cooperate with people and to reach kind of like a fruitful common ground or conclusion or way forward, right? So, best you can do on a personal level, it is exactly that. Do your personal stuff. Don't bother with a cumulative enterprises. And when it comes to you having to kind of like go forward based on foreign expectations, just keep up with what you think is best for you. That is what we do have. But yeah, I mean, you are going to be questioned. Your methods are going to be questioned. Your passion is going to be questioned. Your status above everything else is going to be questioned. Yeah. So it's best not to get into conflicts. All right, next, Nancy. You're welcome, Taco. Right, these are the cards. Nancy. They affect mostly your experience in regards to social interactions. I will interpret them for a personal growth, but above everything else, they are for a social interactions. And just throughout the week, you will see an appropriate, let's put it that way, an inappropriate behavior with people that you do spend time with. They don't have to be friends, okay? They could be people you work with. You don't need to have a friendship kind of like relation with them, but nonetheless, they kind of like take some part into your day-to-day routine. So inappropriate behavior, inappropriate style, how they are addressing the interaction with you, um, the common enterprise, and so on and so forth. And what was the other card? Yeah. And this, well, long story short, it's a week where you will have to correct that, fix that behavior of theirs, and you will have a multiple ways to do so. Now, this behavior, according to the cards itself, was submerged up until now, kind of like it was beneath the surface, and right now it's starting to yeah, it's be assertive, but in a sense of that, you gotta present the whole package. You gotta present it so it will hurt them more than anything else, and behaving that way, kind of like addressing things in that matter, ain't gonna get them anywhere. But also, you should make a point that kind of like you will break through no matter their behavior. So you're doing that for them. Okay. On a personal stage, it's a breakthrough week. There is no question about it. I mean, this is a week where a lot of important details are going to be resorted, they are going to be addressed, they are going to be sorted out, and this will make, or rather, like, is going to create a huge harmony for you, in harmony everywhere. Okay, like in your romantic life, if you do have one, your business, and this harmony will resolve on its own. That is a lot of concerns, a lot of problems, and it will give you the freedom of choosing how to and where to from there on. It's a super good week on a personal level. On a social level, not that a good one, because you will want to just have a good time, but the behavior of that person is just not going to allow it. So you will have to make a stand, you will have to make a point, and kind of like make them see what they are doing wrong. Still looking out for clues. Well, the Lovers and the Four of Wands, those two as an elemental dignity, it's a very potent elemental dignity for appearance of an individual that you can click in with right away. Kind of like, and under click in with, I mean that immediately you will make an impression in that person. They're gonna make an impression to you as well immediately. But immediately after the impression, it's like you will see a lot of differences that you do have. So basically, you will have different interests from one another. That is just for example. Okay, or maybe you are going to have a different goals, different understandings, and whatnot. And here it is the kind of like a breaking point, whether you break it or make it, where if you do see difference as something overwhelming, like something that creates chasms, okay, in between people, then things ain't gonna work out. But if you do see differences as a point of something that makes you special for one another, then you can have a really, really good chance to make a solid relationship here. But again, it all comes to that, how well you do accept differences. All right. And last but not least, Chandra. Let's see what your week is going to be. Or how your week is going to be, rather. Okay. I will wait, Yarabi. You're welcome, Nancy. All right, Chandra. Those are cards. You? And they are very personal. They do not involve anyone else. Okay? They do reflect your personal enterprises, like, for example, hobbies, personal projects, and whatnot. And this week, you will see that in the current stage, not much more can be done about aspects or things you want to develop, because at the current stage they are to reach their maximum potential. It's again, how can I put it? At the current stage, they are to reach the maximum potential. They do have a bigger potential, but the stage needs to change. I hope that kind of like you do understand what I mean, right? For example, you want to, let's say, you want to grow your business, but at the current stage, the market is not exactly favorable for what you are selling. Okay, so you did your best, you reach certain progress, but you need to wait until the market change, and or rather, like I will say, the circumstances change, and the circumstances will change if you do decide to wait. So instead of kind of like trying out helpless or making helpless attempts, it will be best to, how can I put it into words, to prepare through acquiring, for example, qualifications, learning something new, and so on and so forth. This is a week where you need to recognize, or you are going to, not just only you need to, but you are going to recognize where the wind is blowing from, and it is just a matter of time until kind of like the situation unravels or unplugs, if you will, and the circumstances required are gonna fall together on their own accord. And the only thing you need to do in order that to happen is just to wait. But also the week is a reassurance that you do have a good accomplishments, or you are on a path for a good accomplishments that will significantly exceed your expectations. Throughout this week, you may meet a person who will present you with a way. I don't know what this means. Kind of like he's gonna present you with a way forward. I don't know what that means. Hopefully you do, all right? Because that's the thing about fortune telling. You get to know the future. You do not get to understand it. So it doesn't mean anything to me. But what the cards are showing it is that, again, a person, most likely a woman, that is going to present you with a way forward. Whatever concerns you do have, Chandra, right now, or worries that things may fall apart, those concerns and those worries are going to resolve themselves on their own accord as well. But how can I put it into words? Again, the only thing you got to do is just wait and observe the surroundings. Very likely through you waiting, you also are going to adopt a new perspective that will help you, or rather like allow you to exceed your expectations as well. Yadabi, thank you for the $20 US. Let's check. Children. I cannot tell you if you can have children, Yadabi, because having children, it touches a health, because pregnancy is a health condition. Okay. So, and as you know, Tarot cannot read about health. But what I can do is take a look and see if, this is going to affect you in a positive or in a negative way. Okay. So let's check it out. You're welcome, Chandra. Just one more thing, Chandra. No matter what happens next week, just don't panic. Okay, take a breath, sleep it through, and you will see that things aren't as grim as you think they are. And if you are kind of like in a doubt, have you done anything you could? Yes, you did. Well, those are cards for you, Yarabi. Those are cards for you. And truth be told, according to the cards, now it's not a good time. Okay, now it's not a good time. It's just the environment, or rather like a what is coming your way, it's too unpredictable. We do have the Five of Wands at the first card, which is the environment. And this card there shows kind of like a very surprising experiences, very surprising future. That is where a sudden turnarounds are going to happen in your life in the next few months, if I have to be more specific, up until the end of May next year. And the second card, which is the Eight of Wands, at the second position, which is what will hold you back. That card there always speaks about an enormous risk. Enormous risk, not a health risk, but a risk in terms of taking on an opportunity. Okay, you ending up pregnant may deprive you of truly kind of like making a huge breakthrough or sustain, or I don't know. Okay, but it kind of shows that right now this is a big risk, getting having another child or getting pregnant. That is up until the end of May, because the cards also shows that this is something you should keep up considering, because at the end of May there will be, how can I put it into words, there will be an answer. How can that happen without negatively impacting, or rather like without being risky, not negatively impacting, but rather like without being risky, putting at risk, say your business, say your job, you know, say anything that's or everything that you do currently have at your disposal and your possessions. So what I would urge you here is, right now you are affected by watching your friends. Okay, wait it out a bit, wait for a few weeks and see how you feel. If you feel the same way, these are all minor arcana, so you can totally pull it off. Okay, but it just is going to be, at least according to these cards, unnecessarily difficult. Yarabi. Hmm. Hello, Rob. I don't know if they are going to deter men. I mean, if men are deterred because the woman beside them is successful, then I don't know. I mean, what kind of a man, what kind of a man you are, uh, and not ending up with, but kind of like meeting in your life, because having a successful woman is a good thing to have, at least in my opinion. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your contribution as well. Thank you for your support, and we're going to see each other next time. Until then, bye.